is the I would say the most complicated part is the face, especially for a low poly character. It might seem hard, but please just follow along step by step, because this part is going to be a doozy, but it's going to be simple. Remember, it's low poly. We don't want too much polygons. We don't want too much what's it called, we don't want too much polygons. We don't want too much shapes, too much geometry, so that we can attach it. So first things first is I add a subdivision modifier with control 1. That's another shortcut, and immediately I will apply it with control A in object mode, right? I've applied it, and the reason I did that is because I want to, if you, okay, let me show you. If you, like what we did before, if you add a subdivision, a loop cut, it has changed it, and what we need is we need this shape for what we want to do. So we apply it. Now we can delete those faces, mirror on your clipping, go back into edit mode, vertex mode, and we move it. Now what we want to do is simple. We just want to have the overall, what I want to do is simple. We just want to have the overall shape of the head, nothing complicated. So we just move this with our reference. Now you can see this part is to go inside. So we've basically what we have now is a face. Now we create a loop cut here, right? And this works. We are looking for something simple. We don't need anything complicated. We just need a simple face. Now from above, let's go into 7. The head then kinds of goes in this way, so we're cool, right? For very low poly things, I think we've had our head, but we should, in my opinion, let's make it a bit better. Let's add one loop cut here, another one here. Now for the mouth is something that is very complicated to do. So this is how I go about doing the mouth. I first of all apply the modifier, because we want to insert faces. Now look at the topology of this mouth. It's circular. It's like this simply because when animating, this part is going to deform, so you need it to be like that. But our character is low poly. It's going to talk, but it's not like a cinematic animation, so we can get away with maybe just inserting it once, or let's say twice, right? This is for the mouth. We will fix it, we will touch everything up later, as well as the eyes. As you can see, the eyes are very they are very detailed like this, and we might not do something this detailed, but watch me. I'm working on one part of the face because I'm going to delete and reapply the mirror modifier. Now I'm using I, right, and not ES, because it kind of changes the flow of the topology. I just want it to be like this. This is what I do. I'm scaling it, moving it in, then maybe just add one more for good measure, right? I come out, then I delete faces, mirror modifier. Now it looks weird, but here's the best part. Let's come into this. I think I'm going to extrude out a bit, and with forgot to click this clipping. Boom, we can go into sculpt mode. While using our wireframe, we will now be able to move and form our eyes. Now there are other ways to get your face. There are even better ways, but I've found out that this is the simplest way. This is really simple. You don't have, remember, this is a low poly character. There are a lot of details that are going to just be texture painting, or like with what I'll show you guys, just sculpted. Right now we have our face, or the outlook of the face. Let me readjust this a little bit so that it is in that circular motion, or that circular feel. Right now, the next step, what we have to do is we save. Haha, gotcha. So let's just bring it up. Let's match it to the proportion of the character. Now we can hide this. Let's see if we can match it up to the proportion of the character a little bit. Now mind you, we're not doing the exact character, okay? Maybe some other time, but right now I don't think I can do that. Now let me work on the nose a little bit. If I click E, I think that works. Now there's a shortcut I love, smooth vertices, but I've just search it, smooth vertices, you see it, then you can add it into your into your quick favorites with your queue. So the next thing now we want to do for this mouth is we have to now locate the mouth itself. And what I usually do is I just, at this point now, I can E in. That's 2. Let's shift it in. So just like this, we have our mouth. And to zoom what's going on. Yeah, like this, we have practically our mouth. And now you want to move things, right? Here's an easy way to move things with your proportional editing. Shortcut is O. You move, once you move, you see everything is moving. You can now use the scroll wheel to adjust how much you want it to move. Pretty simple. Now the next thing we are going to do is we are just going to add a simple ear. Now before that, let us move these parts in. The next thing is we are going to create a mouth cavity with ES, then E again inside. Then I usually add some loop cuts inside, something like this. This is so our character can, when the mouths open, they will move properly. Now we can inflate. Let's inflate the lips a little bit. Let's try it. Yeah, I think this will work. Yeah, I think this will work. So yeah, I know this looks weird now, but the more you go at it, the more you massage it, the more you sculpt on it with proper reference, according to the character you want to create. This is going to give you, this is probably one of the best things I learned, to just model a good enough sculpt, to a good enough base mesh. Now let's go into 3. First things first, we join it Ctrl J with the head. Then let's create the neck. I think this would work. 1 2 3 4. 1 2 3 4. I'm trying to keep it as close as possible. Right click, loop tools, bridge. Boom. Look at that neck. Amazing. This is what your neck routine should be in the gym. Just kidding. If your neck is like this, more power to you. But yeah, essentially now we match it together. Ooh. Let's turn off proportional editing. Ctrl R. Remember, let's do our circle. Let's do the same for this part, and let's do the same for this part. So, okay, see, here is one issue that comes up. I'm glad this actually came up. Sometimes you attach something and then there's a plane in between. I think that's a mistake. Yeah, so let's come over here with 3. Let's delete it. Sometimes it happens. I mean, it does happen. So let's go back to this point. Remember this part. Let's shift it so that it aligns. So Ctrl R. Remember, going to pose mode. Sorry, I keep calling this pose mode. And boom. Now let's turn this into circle. Oh, anyway, let's go to sculpt, and I think we are done for the base mesh.